Road of Transfagarasan.
Hello there. Come and join me again in my adventure travel to Transfagaras. Transfagaras or DNC-7 is a paved mountain road crossing the southern section of the Carpathian Mountains of Romania. It has national road ranking and is the second highest paved road in the country after the Transalpina. It starts near the village of Basco, near Pitis, and stretches 90 kilometers, 56 miles to the crossroad between the DN1 and Sibiu. Between the highest peaks in the country, Moldoviano and Nicoyo, the road built in the early 1970s as a strategic military route connects the historic regions of Transylvania and Wallachia. Transfagaras was constructed between 1970 and 1974 during the rule of Nicolae Ceausescu as a response to the 1968 invasion of Czechoslovakia by the Soviet Union. Ceausescu wanted to ensure quick military access across the mountains in case of a Soviet invasion. At the time, Romania already had several strategic mountain passes through the southern Carpathians, whether inherited from the pre-communist era. The DN1 and the high pass DN67C were built during the initial years of the communist regime, the DN66. These passes, however, were mainly through river valleys and would be easy for the Soviets to block and attack. Ceausescu therefore ordered the construction of a road across the Pagras mountain, which divide northwestern and southern Romania. Built mainly by military forces, the road had a highly financial and human cost. carried out in an alpine climate at an elevation of 2,000 meters, 6,600 feet, using roughly 6 million kilograms, 5,900 long tons, 6,600 short tons of dynamite, and employing junior military personnel who were trained in blasting techniques. Many workers died. Official records state that only 40 soldiers lost their lives, but unofficial estimate by workers put the number in the hundreds. The road was officially opened on 20 September 1974, although work, particularly paving of the roadway, continued until 1980. Dito na tayo. Oh. Mountainous is the road between the mountains of Pagaras, which starts from the town of Braskov, Argis country, and ends near the town of Kartiswara, Sibiu country. With a length of approximately 152 kilometers, part of DN7C, the road connects the two historical provinces of Mountainous and Transylvania. Various locations have been built along this road that offer accommodation at the highest standards and at competitive prices. Most of us know the fact that the idea of building a road over the Pagaras Mountains belonged to Ceausescu. The reality is that there were sketches and plans made before 1960 that contained the details of a road through the mountains of Pagaras. The project was abandoned because the budget of that time did not support such an expense, but the idea was resumed after the completion of the works at the Vidraro hydropower plant. After the invasion of Czechoslovakia in 1968, the problem of a strategic road arose, but in the area of the Serna and Mihidintuloy mountains. During the period, Nicolae Ceausescu discovered the initial plans and decided to build a road with a single lane to ensure the takeover of the wood mass of the Pagaras forest and a route between the south and the center of the country. The works started in December 1969 from both ends. From the south, the engineers from the 1st Ramnico Balsia Regiment, and from the north those from the 52nd Alba Iulia Regiment. They were joined by civil workers, especially attracted by the rather consistent salary at that time of approximately 6,000 lei. In 1971, Ceausescu changed the plan, and the road became a national road with 2 lanes, and the area of the Pagras Mountain should have become a winter sports resort with over 100 kilometers of ski slopes, bobsleigh slopes, ice rinks, and hotel. The project stalled because of the acute lack of funds, or their diversion to other works considered at that time strictly necessary. The road that undulated next to the ridges of Pagaras had swallowed money with a shovel. In the southern part, the road was built on the forest roads that already existed around the lake and on Balia Capri. A forest road of about 10 kilometers was laid out. The works were supposed to be completed in 1973, but the unfavorable weather conditions and the difficulty of the road postponed the completion by 1 year. The road was completed on September 20, 1974, and Ceausescu was also present at the inauguration. Initially, the Alpine Road was to bear his name, but he refused, and thus its name became Transfagaras. The construction of the road followed, which lasted 4 years. The current road, as we know it, being completed in 1980. The construction of the road required human sacrifices from both the military and civilians. The official data speaks of 40 people who gave their lives for the construction of Transfagaras. In memory of them and those who participated in the construction of the road, 2 monuments were built. Ginistilor Gate, elevation 1,200, and Meetings Gate, elevation 1,600.
Hindi siya totally ganun. Sige namin ito ginamit ko na kasi hindi ko dito.
I presented in the introduction that the Transfagarasan Mountain Road starts immediately after the town of Pites. In fact, Transfagaras, according to most people, starts somewhere near the town of Kapatanin, in 7C, kilometers 35. The last town in Argis country, located on DN 7C and ends at its intersection with DN1. From Kapatanin to Piscol Negro, there are 69 kilometers, DN 7C kilometers, 104 from here to the tunnel, DN 7C kilometers, 116 plus 300. There are 12.3 kilometers. The tunnel is 884 meters long, and from the exit of the tunnel, more there are 35 kilometers to the end. The total distance is those 184 kilometers. The highest altitude reached by the route is 2,042 meters in the Balia Tunnel area, being located after Transalpina, which has a maximum altitude of 2,145 meters. The road has 833 bridges and 28 viaducts. The Transfagaras Tunnel, with the start of the work on the road between the mountains of Fagaras, the Paltinul mountain posed a problem, so the decision was made to dig a tunnel. The tunnel has a length of 884 meters, a width of 6 meters, and a height of 4.40 meters, being built at kilometer 116 plus 360 in 1972, being the longest tunnel and the tunnel located at the highest altitude in our country. In 1974, at the inauguration, a lightning installation that no longer exists also worked on its premises. There are 4 more tunnels on the Transfagaras Road as follows. At kilometer 57 plus 465, a tunnel with a length of 15.95 meters and a width of 6 meters, built in 1962. At kilometer 57 plus 600, a tunnel with a length of 51.47 meters and a width of 6.20 meters, built in 1962. At kilometer 60 plus 700, a tunnel with a length of 117.10 meters and a width of 6 meters, built in 1962. At kilometer 61 plus 400, a tunnel with a length of 97.89 meters and a width of 7.2 meters, built in 1962. Transfagaras in figures. During the construction of the road, approximately 3 million tons of rock were displaced, using only 6,520 tons of TNT. For the construction of the tunnel through the heart of the Paltinul mountain, 20 tons of TNT were used. Approximately 41 million cubic meters of rock were excavated, and the following construction materials were used. Transfagaras, through its greatness and beauty, has led to a strong economic development of the area. From this tourist perspective, and more developed places are also the most well-known, such as Vidraro Dam and Lake Balia Cascade, Kumpana, Balia, Pites, or more recently, the Bolivizo Resort.